Like,
I'd rather be stuck in an elevator and called ma'am than out of an elevator and called sir.
And then feel
Lilly, hun, no you would not. Please stop doing this. Again, this is the reason why you're getting so much hate. Real life is genuine criticism. This is exactly why you're like rage baiting heads. In this scenario, again, heads can understand you don't want to be misidentified and all that. That is completely fine. We understand that. Respect the identity. Don't have to respect the opinions. And definitely don't. So anyway, to that, yeah, I think out of the priorities of the problems going on here, I think being stuck in the elevator, again, like on some Final Destination beat, is way worse than worrying about the receptionist or the secretary in your apartment building misgendering you one time off the jump. I severely think that we have higher problems right now. But, once more, again, Miss Lilly Tino. Most heads, at least I would hope, or would not want to go out of their way to misidentify you and all that. But you gotta realize, even besides that, they do not have to respect these garbage behind opinions you have. Because they're terrible. Sorry, hon. Like, it's really blowing my jaw, bro. Oh my god. Well. Back again, baby. You saw it on the thumbnail. I ain't gonna lie. Last time we didn't check that Lilly Tino, it wasn't looking so hot for hun. No cap. There was that situation where she was in Florida in Disneyworld or whatever, Disneyland, and was taking pics and vids in the bathroom. That resulted in a situation in which she could potentially face 5 years in jail time and or some fines. But she had came out and responded, so y'all already know we ain't got no time to waste. We checking that boy out. Duh. So I ain't gonna waste no more time. Trilly talks everything. Trilly does indeed yap everything every single time, baby. Let's get right into it. Y'all already know. Y'all see him on the screen. Shout out Wine Sons. Shout out love. We got Goodbye Freak. Of course, you guys want to watch the OG video. Down in the description. First link. Shout out love Hawaiian Sins. As always. Clutch down. Let's get right into it. You feel? Oh my god, zesty hair flip. My bad, y'all. Again, I'm a lesbian. There's a difference.
So it's been a few days since the last time we talked about the iconic, the amazing, the stunning, and the beautiful who goes by Lilly Tino. Last time we talked about her, she was potentially going to jail because she was filming videos and taking pictures in the bathroom and little kids were there. It was this whole thing. I talked about it. And before we get into it, let's address the drama.
I was there.
The public hanging of Sensitive Society will have to be postponed. When that video came out, it was called She's Finally Going to Jail or something like that. And the amount of fucking comments I got be like, yo, why are you calling her a she? It's clearly...
Oh yeah, nah, a lot of heads, like I'll see some heads, not even like really pressed, but I see some heads mention that when I was watching the Wine Sons videos, like, yo, mad heads are like going out there like misgendering her or whatever, or like not calling her the right pronouns. And like obviously within that, there's like multiple nuances to that jazz. Obviously there's heads that's blatantly just going out of their way to disrespect her. Shouldn't do that, John. There are heads that are like oblivious to this jazz, like, yo, because I say this all the time too, especially with heads in like the LGBTQ plus community or whatever, like, yo, it's all love, you know what I'm saying? Heads like however they feel, you know what I'm saying, the most comfortable in the beliefs they got. Bro, as long as you're happy, it's always love from Trilly, baby. But another thing I always say is, like, especially on the tip of pronouns, you can't expect like just like the average person, like, again, I say it all the time, like the average nigga you see in Walmart to know every fucking pronoun, to instantly know your shits. Like, this is something you got to educate heads on. But also in that factor, you got to go in a better means of educating people on, you know what I'm saying, such Johns, because if we're going by any other examples such as Lilly Tino's in the other Wine Sens vid, yeah, it's looking bad the way, you know what I'm saying. At least she's trying to explain it. But yeah, nah, most heads, again, like, especially in the trans media, are cool, cordial. They gonna, like, explain it to you, like, straight out what it is, you know what I'm saying. Not try to push no Johns on you, especially, like, if you're not comfortable with no Johns like that. But yeah, nah, a lot of heads was going crazy. But, yo, I keep it peace. Listen, I'm gonna say it in the words of Pope Diorio. And he wasn't even talking about Lilly Tino, but he was talking about another, like, you know what I'm saying, trans girly pop. Listen. We can respect Hun's identity. That's stamped in. But I don't gotta respect her opinions for shit. I'm not gonna lie. I can respect who she is. She wants to be identified as a she. She/her. Boom. The opinions, shot the fuck out. Bro, what?
A he, and then other people were like, that's a they, they're cosplaying it. It's just like, this is why I rarely ever touch on these topics, because no matter what I
super fair
say I am going to piss a portion of the people. If I call Lily a she, sensitive, you sold out, all right? You sold out to Disney. You're a slave. You're
like, yeah, no, that shit, nah, that it's like, yo, if you call Lil Tino a she, that's just because that's what she wants to be identified as. That doesn't mean you're a fucking sellout. That doesn't mean you support the shit she did in Disney. Like, what the fuck, nigga? I'ma be the first nigga again to tell you that shit in Disney disavowed, bad. Don't want to see that shit ever again. What the fuck?
woke, you fell off. If I call it a he, I'm just giving ammunition to the people that don't like me already. They're gonna be like, oh, here's proof that he is indeed transphobic. Stuff like this gets tricky. And I just...
Yeah, again, like, there's a ton of nuance to this shit, but as long as, again, like, yo, you're respectful to heads, you know what I'm saying? You just want heads to be happy, yo, and, like, yo, obviously within that, too, especially on this topic in itself, yo, heads are keeping it cordial and not, like, you know what I'm saying, pushing, you know what I'm saying, things onto people, especially when they expressly already address, yo, they respect people's Jones, but, like, yo, it's not for them personally. That's the only time where it gets bad for Trilly. Like, when you're trying to push, you know what I'm saying, obviously, like, you know, ideals and stuff onto people, when they are respectful of yours and, like, they already addressed that, like, okay, yeah, listen, they respect it, but listen, not for me, though.
Just want to be respectful, and on top of that, I don't want my fucking channel to be nuked. I don't want to deal with that. This is like my last fucking time talking about Lilly Tino. No matter what I call this individual, I could already see the comment section. Like I said, we do have this update. Lilly Tino, the TikToker with almost 500,000 followers, recently made this video.
So the whole point of why I do what I do, which is create content, is to educate and to entertain.
Perfect. I'm glad you said that. All right, so we already addressed your education methods, you know, like with the corn dog and all that type of John. Terrible, bad. I suggest you go get a new John. Try that out. Also, I did hear you was trying to copy this one, like, children's YouTuber on some, like, you know what I'm saying, Umichi, trying to dress up as her, Skinwalker, I don't know what the, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm not gonna lie, Lilly Tino, hun, we gonna need better education methods. And I'll tell you right off the rip, if we're talking entertainment, I'm not entertained. And if your entertainment is like this rage bait you're doing, where you be going into the restaurants trying to get a free meal, shit, not entertaining. Cut that shit out.
In that order. And I think that
also too, I don't understand again what's entertaining about like raiding the Disneyworld, Disneyland bathrooms. Like that shit again is not entertaining. I say again, like I said in the YN Sens video, yo, are y'all about to pop out to your local Exxon's women's gas station and go raid that shit? No, you're not. You want to know why? That shit is disgusting. And two, it's a fucking bathroom. You're going to go piss and shit or whatever the fuck you got to do in the bathroom. Same shit you're doing at Disney World. Is Disney World probably going to have a nicer bathroom? Yes, it's a fucking theme park. Do we need to go in there and rate it? No, it's not entertainment. Like, what the hell are we talking about?
That recently, my content has taken a bit of a shift.
Let's be...
Yeah. I would agree with you. If we're talking about, again, the Disney World shit, it's taking a shift into the bath.
on this. Like, what individual has seen a Lilly Tino video and thought, this was highly educational, now I know more about trans people?
It wasn't me.
Nah, dog, I'm sorry. If that's the excuse we're going to be using, I entertain and I educate as well on how not to be an idiot on YouTube. So, you know you took it way too far with all the...
Absolutely.
The fucking hot dog and the wiener.
100%.
And the pretzels and, you know, all the weird stuff you were doing.
Like, even if you want to argue, okay, this is not the most explicit thing ever, why are heads getting on Lilly Tino so crazy for that? It's like, yo, it's the implication. You're trying to, like, she's explaining it in a way where it's, like, broken down to where if you're explaining it to jits, like kids, also to that factor, at Disney World, the jits are around, what are we doing? And then 3, it's like, yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck, at least in my personal opinion, that type of content, at least with the corn dog where Lilly Tino's doing it, John, is making me uncomfortable. I'd rather not see it on the timeline.
You took this shit way too far, further than it should have been in the first place, truth be told. And now you're getting backlash, and it's like, dude, come on. So far, I don't feel bad at all. My feelings have not been touched yet, so.
Because, like, I feel like for me, I always go on, like, stupid actions, stupid consequences, and general, like, patterns of behavior. And stupid actions, stupid consequences, duh, taking pictures, taking videos in the, what's the name, Disneyland bathroom. Stupid. And then on a factor of change pattern of behavior, like, yo, this is something, like, looking back at Lilly Tino's history, especially, like, when she was really starting to get into making, like, you know what I'm saying, content about being trans. It's like, yo, this has been a repeated pattern of behavior. Are you doing, like, some weird John, or, like, yo, it's looking a bit off, or, like, you're disturbing people, you know what I'm saying, or messing with people in the workplace. Like, it's just not good.
To be more, well, I'm hurt.
Okay.
I am.
Me too.
Because of
Me
the
too.
amount of hate.
Can see, and that's another thing I always say. You have to distinguish hate from general criticism, Lilly, Tino. Like honestly, you really do, because yeah, again, heads shouldn't hate. They shouldn't go out of their way to misgender you, do all this different shit, no matter like how they feel or whatever. Because again, respect heads' identity. Don't gotta respect their opinions. But even coming off that, it's like, you're getting at least a lot of hate, and or if you're labeling that genuine criticism as hate, you're getting a lot of that, because what you're doing is like, just to a lot of people, it's not looking too hot. You know what I'm saying? It's looking pretty bad. And especially, again, the whole Disneyland thing, whatever. I forgot which one it is in fucking Florida. I don't give a fuck. The whole Disney shit, it's like, you could get potentially 5 years. You're getting fines and shit. Like, someone came out, like, on some John, like, when she had taken a picture in the bathroom or whatever. Someone came out on a lawsuit type of tip. Like, I think it's gotten to the part where, it's bad. Like, you should probably look at this and be like, damn, time to shift up the content back to some better shit.
I've gotten over the past 3 years doing this, 2.5 years. That hurt has influenced the way that I do things. As a content creator, especially as a streamer.
I mean, you do engage in rage bait. I mean, let's just keep it honest. Like, a lot of your content here, and I've covered it, and others have as well.
The emergency call button. When the unseen operator addressed her as Sir over the intercom, Tino flew into a rage, despite the fact that the person...
This is a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier. Like, Lilly Tino, she cannot expect, like, someone just coming up in a workplace to immediately, like, know, like, her pronouns and things as such and how to identify her. This is something like, okay, they make a mistake the first time, you correct them cordially, and you can move on from there. If they're blatantly after that trying to, like, misidentify, that's when obviously becomes a problem. But this shit right here, too much. Like, what are we doing? Like, come on.
person couldn't even see her.
I am trapped in an elevator right now. I am not gonna lie, it's a little bit my fault because there's people who were in the elevator that came out while I was waiting for it and said, oh, hey, we're not sure this elevator is working, but like the elevator looked like it was working when they walked out, so I was like, what's the worst that could happen? I pressed the call button and it went to my apartment person. Of course they called me sir as soon as I said,
Lilly, again, hon, you're stuck in a fucking elevator. Who cares right now?
hello, sir. Number one, I'm not.
See, like, again, doing this type of shit, there's no way that Lilly Tino could, like, look at us and be like, yeah, bro, nah, don't worry, these niggas are just hating and all this shit. You're constantly, like, doing this. You're constantly trying to point out people misgendering you, misidentifying you and all that type of shit, even though, again, most heads are just not gonna know off the rip because, again, progressive society, people are still learning. Duh. It's like, but anyway, the whole fucking pronoun shit is irrelevant. You're stuck in an elevator. Who cares about that right now? I would tell you right now, one of my Johns, Trilly may be a bitch. Never called a lover babes that. No cap. But one of Trilly fears besides like spiders and bugs, bro, I do not like the whole elevator, John. I don't watch too many Final Destinations. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Forget a pronoun. I'm worried about getting the fuck out of the elevator. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
number two, I'm trapped in an elevator.
No, that's number one. What? See, like that's why people are saying you're rage baiting. Like,
I'd rather be stuck in an elevator and called ma'am than out of an elevator and called sir.
Lilly, hun, no you would not. Please stop doing this. Again, this is the reason why you're getting so much hate. Real life is genuine criticism. This is exactly why you're like rage baiting heads. In this scenario, again, heads can understand you don't want to be misidentified and all that. That is completely fine. We understand that. Respect the identity. Don't have to respect the opinions. And definitely don't. So anyway, to that. Yeah, I think out of the priorities of the problems going on here, I think being stuck in the elevator, again, like on some Final Destination beat, is way worse than worrying about the receptionist or the secretary in your apartment building misgendering you one time off the jump. I severely think that we have higher problems right now. But, once more, again, Miss Lilly Tino. Most heads, at least I would hope, or would not want to go out of their way to misidentify you and all that. But you gotta realize, even besides that, they do not have to respect these garbage behind opinions you have. Because they're terrible. I'm sorry, hon. Like, It's really blowing my jump, bro. Oh my god.
Filming in the bathroom, and on top of that, a Disney bathroom. You're weird. And on top of that, you rage bait, and then the second you don't like it, it's like, okay, guys, now I'm noticing that it went way too far. It's like, well, bruh, that's what
Yeah, you been did.
you were engaging in. What do you mean? Now, there's people out there that think that she's just cosplaying as a trans person. I don't know how accurate that is. But would I be surprised if this was all for bait or engagement or whatever reason it might be? I would not be surprised. I would be like, okay, you know, low key kind of.
Well, do you think, like if Lilly Tino's doing this show as a grift, I mean, like, with the content tip, I mean, on that tip, yeah, probably. But on the tip of, like, actually being trans, I mean, I don't know. That's something, again, you'd have to hear direct conjecture from Lilly Tino. But, again, looking from the last vid, knowing about the corn dog video and how she was explaining that, I mean, it seems like she got some work done, so she might be more about it than other heads. But then that's a whole nother thing of nuance in itself, because then how can you tell someone how trans they are? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Expected that, honestly. So far, guys, about a minute in, my empathy meter from 1 to 10 is probably at a 1. I'm not feeling too much. Maybe I'm dead inside.
I'm always on camera, talking all the
that's on your own discretion. That's because, again, you're always doing those live streams in the restaurant.
time, daily updates about where I'm at.
You don't have to do that. That's another reason why, like, all these restaurants keep getting called and all that. Like,
And I think that the hurt that I feel has influenced the way that I've pushed in my content to be confrontational and be.
but that's the thing. You shouldn't be trying to push to be confrontational. That's the problem. It's like you're outright saying, like, again, you're pushing for those scenarios in which, like, yo, you get mad or whatever because some head, like, misgenders you one time or whatever. It only goes to show, like, that's more rage bait. Why are you trying to be confrontational, or more or less to the factor of being just, like, you know, educating people on, you know what I'm saying, the whole trans movement and all that? Even though, again, I'll say your methods on that are terrible. But yeah, why are you not prioritizing that more than being confrontational? What are we talking about?
In your face about what I'm trying to do, which is ultimately teach people about trans things.
What do I need to know? Wait, no. Again, what educates me about you being mad that a guy misgendered you one time, again, or maybe twice? I don't even know. But again, the guy obviously did not know who you were and wasn't educated on how you want to be identified. So what about that? And you leaving the bread tower there, what about that is educating me on, you know, again, the trans movement, and especially a way more insightful way that I'll understand more, and more people colloquially understand, oh wait, that's not doing it. Like, what are we talking about?
Things.
If you weren't so extreme and weird about it, I wouldn't even be
Basically, yeah,
making this video. I would be like, okay,
directly.
it's educational content, you know, it's straight to the point, but it's not. The thing is, it's not educational at all. I guess if it classifies as educational, it's one hell of a new approach to educational content here.
My question is, okay, fine, say we say it's educational, who is this content for? And especially the ones where she's dressing up as that other, like, teacher lady that does that does the children's vids. Okay, where so you're educating the jits. Okay, then I'm gonna look back at the other vids, be like, okay, these are the videos you're using to educate children. I don't know if I want them to be educated like this. They can be educated, of course, like, yo, especially, you know what I'm saying, on the whole tip of, like, you know, there's kids now or whatever that's, like, you know, questioning their sexuality and or, like, you know what I'm saying, what gender they are, things as such. But you always say, wait till 18, yada yada, things as such. But you always can be educated. But then I'll go back, because this is where the nuance is at. Your methods of education, Lilly, in my opinion, are fucking awful. And I would not want kids to be, at least my children, to be taught the, you know what I'm saying, the nuances of being trans by you. Fuck no. Hell nah. So then, and that's just my own personal opinion, but a lot of people feel that way. So then in that factor, don't you feel as though the way you're educating or your methods are questionable? Like, yo, again, you could call Trilly the dumbass. Like, yo, bro, I'll take that to the chin, but I really do want to be educated. Like, yo, show me where it's right at, because as far as, again, I'm seeing, and I say it all the time, I'm gonna keep it fair till I see some shit I don't like. Is that not fair?
On YouTube, TikTok, and other social medias. If you had good intent, and we could all see the intent was like to teach people about transitioning or cons and pros and all of that shit in a good professional manner, I think you.
And that's basically what I'm saying. Like the way she's doing like the education or supposed to be educating heads on this is just not good methods. I feel like there's definitely better methods. And I was saying this in the last Wine Sense video about Lilly Tino. There's definitely better methods that she could go about to educate not only just jits but just people in general about the whole trans movement. Like,
you would still get hate, but I don't think it would be as bad as it's right now. But,
No.
I mean, you took it to a whole different level.
It's good. It's good. It's good. Are we still on the cake pop bag?
Look, we're further down.
We're further
Yeah,
down
yes.
now. What's underneath the
see,
cake
like
pop
this
bag?
shit, and I guess like, yo, you could say I'm fucking biased, but this shit does not make me comfortable like seeing this shit. And again, I still don't know how this is educational.
You be doing too much, little homie. And I said this on my last video. I'm like, not every trans person is this annoying.
Obviously, not duh. That's a distinction I made like way fucking earlier in this shit. Clearly, Lilly Tino on here does not represent every person who is trans, let alone like every trans woman or anything like that. Yeah, hell nah. They're keeping her ass right where the fuck she's at. Over there, left.
And obnoxious. There's people out there that legitimately just want to live their life, live like the rest of us, right? And I have no problem with that. I literally do not care what you do with your body, you know? The thing with you is you legitimately set trans people back like 100,000 years at this rate. Well, maybe I'm exaggerating. More like 200 years. You have
Yeah,
done.
no, I agree and disagree with that, because on a broader sense, if more people were to see Lilly Tino and then that's their like, I guess like first I don't even know, not interaction, you're not physically interacting, but your first like, I guess, experience seeing someone who is trans or something like that, then that would build your broad identity of what trans people are like. And obviously they're not all like Lilly Tino, duh. But also to that sense, it's like, yeah, if she keep posting these vids, sorry, heads make their generalizations, bruh. They might just need her to stop posting real shit.
Done more harm to the
Like-
community than helped it, because a lot of people, millions if you will, when they think of trans people, they think of people like you and how insane and disgusting.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because like I'm gonna keep it a buck, and that's not again Trilly on his high horse on his ego shit. Trilly's the fucking arbiter. Trilly's a fucking dumbass. I say it all the time. But some heads are just gonna go straight off of like just whatever shit they see first. You know what I'm saying? Just like all for first glance basically type shit. A lot of heads are just gonna do that. So if their first glance is of Lilly Tino, then fuck. I'm not gonna lie. Then there a lot of people's perceptions gonna end up being like, oh yeah, man. This thing should not breaking that. But yo, this is just, bro, this is the internet. Look at the dramasphere. This is the shit that happens all the time. Like,
You are bathroom filming and everything else that Lilly has done. You're not helping that community. If anything, you're hurting it more.
That shift is not fun for me at all. It's actually really awful. And it doesn't just impact me, but my family and my friends. And
but you do realize like all of this is spawning off of what you're doing, right? Correct? Like if you post no videos, then no people comment hate and or genuine criticism. You know what I mean? Like that's the distinction. That's what we're like not taking accountability for.
I'm not here to hurt anybody.
Maybe not physically.
I'm always going to be a confrontational person, but
You shouldn't be. That's again why people keep saying that's one of the reasons, one of your top 3 things you're worst known for is rage bait. Stop doing that. It's annoying. This is what people don't like. You said earlier you want to educate people and entertain people. Being confrontational like that, 1, is not educating anyone, and 2, is definitely not entertaining for the masses. Except maybe to laugh at you on.
I think there's ways to do it. So to that end, I'm going to take a break.
Oh, is it sad that I really... Actually, it's not even sad because I'm going to say it. Good.
I don't know when I'll be back.
Yeah, we just talk about... Yeah, I will... Duh, obviously, we just talk about content. Yeah, still good.
I'll be back.
No. My day is ruined and my July is so fucking ruined. I thought Lilly was gonna say something like, you know what, guys? I've done a lot of harm towards the LGBTQC plus square root of 2 community. I've also been extremely hurtful towards the trans community. I think it's best if I just walk away from this. And I was about to get up and clap as hard as I possibly can. You know, my depression is back, and I don't know how to feel about that. If anything, it makes me quite sad. Once again, I do think this individual is low-key an FBI, CIA operator.
It's like a government psyop.
Trying to get into the trans community and make it look as fucking shitty and horrible as possible. A paid actor, if you will. And no, I am not.
Yeah, and that still wouldn't make sense though, especially like in this current political climate, because it's just like, yo, even still to that, like, yo, obviously within like being LGBTQ and being trans, like that's still a minority, like a minority within like the masses of people, but that's still like, yo, a good amount of people, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I put them against the government.
Schizo posting on Maine. I would not be surprised if it turns out like in 25 years the secrets are revealed and it turns out that Lilly Tino was actually a fucking FBI or CIA agent put in play.
Yo, Sen's coming back. I knew it.
Is to infiltrate the trans community. And would I be surprised? No, not really. Am I going crazy? Possibly. Is this schizo?
Yeah, you already know.
Posting? Most likely.
Probably.
But you heard it here first.
I'm not going to change myself for anybody.
Well, well, there you go. Because that's a whole nuanced thing in itself. That, like the whole thing, especially in like relationships, like, oh man, you shouldn't have to change your whole person and being for your partner. Yeah, you shouldn't. But like, yo, if you want some bad type of time and you would want to change and do better for your partner, right? I feel like in this, it's like, yeah, no one's telling you, Lily, to not be yourself, but they're telling you to stop doing this fucking rage baiting because it's annoying as shit and clearly getting you in trouble, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
that's never gonna happen.
Now, again, be as confrontational as you want. I'm just saying, like, yo, in the scenarios in which a content you're streaming, going out to these restaurants, fucking taking pictures in a Disneyland bathroom, yeah, I don't know if you need to be so confrontational in that. Like, I don't know if you need to stand on business as hard with that shit. That's all we're saying.
But I am gonna work on the way that my hurt has taken over my content in some ways.
Now, how about you just work on your content? Like, not to say again, like if she's feeling any like mental struggles or whatever from this shit, like, yo, I'm sure there are heads hating. Again, we talked about this shit, like, yo, there's niggas being weird, all that other shit. Like, yeah, sure, like, yo, you want to move, put that. Even talk, you want to brush past those niggas, and like, sure, you don't want them to affect your mental. So obviously, I can feel sympathy on that factor. But we can't just again to like a goalpost shift and like obfuscate off of the factor of like, yo, the content you're putting out is the reason that this hurt is happening. You know what I'm saying? Like if again you weren't making the content in the way you are going towards like the rage bait and getting heads mad side and more of the actual education and not this fucking stripping down a corn dog side, it would probably go better. Again, Lily, but
Oh my god, I'm so sad right now. How am I going to survive without my favorite trans influencer, Lilly Tino, uploading on TikTok? This is possibly harder than losing a loved one. I gotta keep it real with you guys. Lilly was totally fine with the hate until they started looking at prison time. Their entire content run is getting mad over being misgender and using that to shame them into a free meal.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
100% you're speaking facts. Quite intrigued to see what the TikTok
like, yeah, that's not even like no bias shit. Like that is just straight up true. Just go look at her TikTok.
Comment section is. No one cares, Snake is the top comment with 83,000 likes. The original video got 33,000 likes. Stop being disrespectful towards real women then. Okay. So I was expecting the TikTok comment section to be a lot more positive. But it will be
Nah, TikTok these days, and I really learned that shit off the Clara Dow drama, bro. TikTok will rip niggas' new asses. That shit is crazy. Now, like, obviously, like, yo, certain dramas only stay on certain platforms. Like, for instance, yeah, like TikTok dramas, they usually stay over there until Trilly get to covering them, or like, you know, like most commentary channels, drama channels, all that type of John. Lil Schlop there, bars. Schloppy. Start covering these Johns. But yeah, nah, TikTok bulls, they'll start eating you alive, bro. When the Kai Cenat was getting that heat for fake laughing and shit, on that type of time, and Clara Dow, her audience, ripping her ass a new one. I didn't think anything was gonna be different for Lilly Tino.
Be a lot more positive. Like, Lilly Tino, you know, fuck the haters. We got your back. We love you. I'm glad to be proven wrong. You're always hurt, always offended, always.
Yeah, no, this is actually true. You're always hurt, you're always offended, always something, maybe making videos in for you. This is the thing I taught. Damn, I'm surprised I didn't even mention this. Oh yeah, but it's confirmed. I just thought about this, and like I said, I'm really surprised I didn't mention this because, again, watching the whole drama with Yoko Soy Dubs, the Orbiters, all this type of John. Yeah, Lilly Tino, without question, is a definitive stamper in of the victim complex. 100%. Because you see the way she makes the content again with the rage bait. She always wants to feel like she's the victim in the scenario. Oh, this motherfucker misgendered me. Oh, this motherfucker is mean or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? How about instead of, yo, every person is against you, let's look inside and see what we're doing. I'm just gonna keep saying it. But again, your head shouldn't be like actually ultra hating, like trying to misgender out of like fucking spite and all that shit. Like, yo, come on, let's.
Something, maybe making videos isn't for you then. 88,000 likes. Yeah.
90. 91.
If someone ratioed me this bad, I would quit and never show my face again. I would be like, okay, I'm out.
You would think people would do that. Shit. You would have thought Central Committee, fucking Mike from PA, stupid ass would have did that after that Twitter shit, but
People online are so mean to me. To be fair, you're not educating or entertaining anyone. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said at the start. How the fuck is Lilly Tino's content educational? You know what I mean? If her content is educational, dude, I'm a fucking Harvard professor at this point on how not to be a retard.
I like to call that sloponomics.
101. If we're gonna reach that far, we might as well reach all the way. You know what I mean?
You feel me? I ain't gonna lie. Y'all should already know though. Shout out Wine Sens. Facts, baby. That was a Goodbye Freak, obviously talking about Lilly Tino. If you guys want to watch the OG video, down in the description, first link, sure to love Hawaiian Sens, of course. But yeah, final page and conjecture, we didn't give it his whole vid, so I'll keep it short and sweet. But like, yeah, with the like Lilly Tino obviously getting the consequences for the very stupid actions that she did in Disneyworld, I feel like, yeah, that's just. And if obviously she's hurt and or mad about this, nah, I mean, she's well within her right to be mad, but I'm gonna look at her and say, stupid actions have stupid consequences. So if you did not want to deal with these consequences and feel as though now you're getting a mass amount of hate, more or less genuine criticism, and you're feeling all this hurt because people, I guess, like are harassing you or whatever, it's like, they shouldn't do that. But do you think it came from nothing, from nowhere? Once more, y'all know how that goes though. But yeah, again, shout out to the love Hawaiian Sens, and I'm finna catch y'all. On the flip, baby. Peace.